Hey guys, it's been a little bit. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Quick note, if you guys are a part of the Alliance and you're not active, you will get booted. So there's that. There's a couple players I got to boot that haven't been active in a few days, and we're going to remove them here. But if you are a part of the Alliance, excuse me, we do have a Discord, which I linked down below in the description. I'd like to get you guys in there so we can have an easier way to chat. Although the in-game chat is pretty solid, I'd say. But if you want to join as well, and again, you'll be active, then you can apply as well. So just do that. All we're looking for is people that are willing to grind. That's all. So anyway, as it's been a couple of days, I wanted to just briefly discuss some of the things that I've been up to. So I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure that thumbs up and subscribe, of course, all that fun stuff. And let's go ahead and dive in. So first things first, I have added a couple of levels. And as a result, I think I unlocked Altar. No, I already had Altar. I unlocked some other stuff, maybe like Siege, but not really mess with that all too much. So here's what we've been doing. I did unlock Hydra somewhere in there. I don't really have a team for that, so I kind of just go in if I can. Last time I was stuck on like floor 9. I stopped on 18. I could probably push a little bit higher, but I don't have the team for this, unfortunately. So not sure what I'll do with this one. I'll see eventually at some point, but you know, the good news is I can at least get up here and farm this if I need to, so that's pretty awesome. We have done a little bit of grinding in arena, not a ton. A little bit of grinding in faction war and dungeons. Just kind of depends what's available to me and kind of what I'm taking on. In dungeons, sometimes there's been like extra drops or an event that ties into it, farm artifacts, blah blah. So every now and again I'll participate as much as I can anyway in one of those. Unfortunately, I guess we're gonna finish this nice. I do need more of these tomes, like badly. Unfortunately though, I'm at a point now where I'm a couple of days away, like 3 days away from getting a void shard from my monthly or whatever quests. So I would very much, okay, so I'm 3 days away from getting a void and sacred, so that's a pretty big drop for me. Unfortunately, the boosted summons won't be here, but I will do some boosted summons live here, and then we'll get into my champions. We've done some good work, I'd say, on some of those. Let's see if we get lucky, baby. Oh, voice crack, my bad. Lucky, baby. And rare Dracula, Doom Screech. What are you doing, Doom Screech? That's Batman right there. Attacks one enemy 2 times, 25% chance of placing a 50% decreased accuracy debuff. AoE, place a shield buff equal to 30% max HP on the champion for 2 turns. Damage increases according to this champion's current HP. Builds a turn meter of all allies, and it also increased defense buff. I'd love if that was attack, but he'd be pretty insane. Another character I can use in factions, so I'm gonna have to start saving some of these characters, and this skill I think is pretty universally good, but the rest of him is kind of whatever. At least that's the way I feel. Come on, epic or higher. Oh, okay, nice. I did get an epic. What the heck? Those are closed, right? It almost looks like this thing is like stitched together. Like, you know what it made me think of? It made me think of the daughter from Full Metal Alchemist, looking at that chest. Like it's pretty, but that's just leather, I guess. All right, don't mind me, I'm crazy. Skinwalkers, huh? Frenzy, not frenzy, Frenzy. Frenzy. The cackler. Oh, she's a hyena too, isn't she? It's a hyena. That's why it cackles. I get it. Attacks an enemy, 50% chance of instantly activating an HP burn debuff. Okay. You got bombs too? HP burns, all that stuff. Attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has a 75% chance of placing an HP burn debuff for 2 turns. Huh. Builds turn meter by 10% for each HP burn placed by the skill. Damage is based on defense for this. AoE, 75% chance of placing a provoke debuff. Also places an increased defense buff on this champion for 2 turns, which is also just increasing damage because it scales off defense. Increase the champion's defense by 2% each time an HP burn debuff is activated on enemies, stacking up to 20%. Resets each round. Aura is defense in dungeons. I knew it was going to be defense because the shield, of course. I assume that's the insignia. I know it is. I'm crazy. In dungeons specifically, she could be She could be interesting, like with what, Trunda? Trunda has an HP burn, right? Pretty sure. My God, that's a gruesome icon there. Yeah, HP burn. I mean, cool. Okay. Well, like I said, I need to save some of those guys and work on them and see what I can do. So there's a couple new champs in here. I just got you, right? No, I guess I got you at some point over the last couple days. So if any of these rares are solid, of course, as always, let me know. So Alice, she is the first thing that I've really been able to get done. Finished her 6-star in, I believe, our last video, but pushed her mastery. I believe that's the right one. Gave her higher crushing rend. I will have that last ascension whenever the dungeon opens again. This is what I have currently. I've started to be able to get some legendary artifacts, which is nice. Sometimes they have the right stats, sometimes they don't. Kind of just depends, but still working on that. But that's what I mostly have right now. Still working on min-maxing these though, so don't judge me too much. Thank you. Haven't actually, I don't think I've changed his at all, but I did pick up that skin. That skin popped up a few days ago and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta get it. It looked too clean, man. I had to get it. I don't know if I'll get another skin at any point, but that one I was like, man, he looks so cool. And for my starter champion, my first 6-star, I thought it fit, but I haven't touched any of his gear in a while. I'll change him around pretty soon because I'm starting to take on like harder stuff, and I'm starting to feel the squeeze with like some of the gear on my champions. This is what I currently have, although I will be changing this set later. So there's that, but working on Wukong. Actually, I finished his ascension. Got him to 6. he was like 3, I think. I just did that like yesterday or the day before. One thing that's still kind of annoying and will continue to be a problem is I just don't have the tomes to level. So that's kind of where I'm getting hit. If the champion is of a higher rarity, I don't have a lot of those. Thankfully, I've got pretty lucky on Rector. I don't know that I'll be giving Rector anymore because the attack debuff is cool, but I'm not in a rush. I got the 2 I really cared more about, I guess. I guess it's debatable, but whatever. So I think Rector, I also have not touched their gear at all. I think, like I said previously, this will be the next 6-star that I work on. And then Was and Bellower I use pretty consistently in a lot of content. They get a lot of play from me. They are they're parts of most of my teams at this point, and that's mostly everything. I'm pretty out of silver. Some of that's just from just artifact leveling. I've also slowly but surely been able to craft some higher like starred gear. It's not always equated to legendary. Like you saw, I had the new set or whatever. This, I think it's this one actually, the Instinct on Wukong. So the Forge Pass has given me a lot of these, so I've been able to kind of start crafting a bit. Sometimes I get higher rarity, sometimes I don't, of course, as you can imagine. Speaking of passes, I've got just over a week left. I'm at 30 out of 50. Would love to get there. I'm hoping I don't have to spend the extra $10 to $20. So yeah, I don't think I will. Right? I don't think I will. I still have a couple weeks, and then the final week hasn't popped up yet, of course. But the Forge Pass, as you guys were telling me, has been a very big boon to me. It has been extremely helpful in terms of like getting more artifacts, and I'm starting to be able to move into other pieces of like min-maxing characters and enhancing and improving characters and just things like that. So that's another thing that I've kind of been able to do over the last week or so. Haven't really touched much of the story. Have been in the Iron Twin Fortress. Kind of hard, I'll admit, kind of hard. I did also get a couple of extra souls, or this one specifically, I guess, because I did buy a couple summons here. Can I do it again? Mortal. Yes, I can. Let's see if I get something here. I've been waiting for a character I actually use. which is not Judge. Couldn't have been Kale, huh? That'd have been nice instead of this null looking him. All right. Oh, epic. And it's another champion. I don't 5 stars though. Diana. Ooh. Okay. The reality is that there's just, it's not even so much that it's champions I don't use. Oh, that's right. I did get Lady Mikage. It's just champions I don't own. It's like, I don't have the opportunity to use them at all. So I just saw the first character of a character the first soul of a character I do own, which is Sir Artemage, which I'm not planning on buying at this moment. We did also get a primal in here somewhere, so that's pretty nice. I'm not sure exactly where I got it, but that's pretty nice. I'm gonna sit on that. But yeah, altogether though, I think that we've had some pretty good stuff going on, right? I think we've had some pretty good stuff going on. Just working on overall progression, and I'm starting to touch some more of these modes. But what happens is also I realized orcs and organ are two absolutely different things. But what happens is I'm starting to go into these and I'm like, I don't have, the requisite teams to be able to even compete in any of these. I guess since Alice is enhanced, she should one-shot most of this, but like I think that's something that's going to be around the corner for me. For one, I need to work on obviously just enhancing the characters I do use. But then look at Alice just one-shotting. But then I'm going to hit a point where I need to start bringing up some other characters. But yeah, I think for me, the immediate future in terms of 6 stars, because I can bring some of these like 4 stars into 5s, right? I think in the immediate future, it's going to be Rector next. I honestly actually really want to bring up either Was or Bellower, but that's partly because I use them all the time. So I'm not sure which one I would use next. Probably Bellower. I like the AoE debuffs, but Wasgar has really made me able to survive in a lot of games or a lot of fights. So that's been huge for me. In fights I just wouldn't have lived through without him being on my team. Like it just isn't gonna happen. So altogether though, that just wanted to drop in, do a check-in with you guys, show you guys how things are going. I think that'll be mostly what I do from now. Gonna shift up the style on the content, but make sure you do subscribe, of course, for more content on Raid. And yeah, I'll be seeing you all next time. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Until next time.